Hello everybody, this is a test with a new microphone.
Hello.
I think it's working. Today I'm gonna show you the tool Flow Along Surface. With this tool you can transfer geometric information from one surface to another. In other words, it blends geometries between two surfaces. And this is very useful and very handy for architects because it allows you to design facades in an orthogonal planar way and later transfer this information to a more complex geometry. Let me show you how it works. Let's say in this example. For that you need a source surface, which is usually planar, a target free-form surface, this one, and a base geometry, that it's going to be replicated like a tile. First you have to create copies of the base geometry using the tool Array onto the source surface, and then group these copies. Then type Flow Along Surface in the command line and select the group and press Enter. Then select the source surface followed by the target surface. And after a few seconds you will get to see the result, the blended copies of the base geometry into the target surface. I would suggest you to work with groups because this facilitates you when selecting things. Let's see some other examples. Here I have a similar tile distribution, but now I'm going to delete some elements and apply the Flow Along surface. As you see now, in the target surface, the resulting copies are in number and position the same that on the source surface. In this other example, I will use the groups. First, I will blend the white modules, then I can blend the green ones, and then at the end I blend the blue ones. This means that you can always introduce and make variations on the modules. And if the grid doesn't change, the blending will still work. Okay, let's continue. It's getting late and I want to finish. Now, in this other example, I have different tiles belonging to the same grid system. If I activate the record history while blending, and then I modify any of the tiles from the source, because of the recording, the changes will also happen on the target geometries. Look, source and target here. But if I delete any of these elements, the recording link will break. So just try to keep in mind that the recording can be not that easy to handle. So you have to keep control of it all the time. Let's continue. Here I have a module with two different layers. One is wood and the other one is glass. So once I apply the command Flow Along Surface, the resulting elements will keep its original layer. Here wood and here glass. Look. In this other one, the module is a bit more detailed, but it still works. You have to notice that the side of the selection of the source surface will determine the location on the target surface. So if I select from here, the result will be on the other side. So just keep that in mind, okay? You can also create patterns or shapes that are not repeating in any direction, like in this case. And you can also use different types of geometries as your target surfaces, like this sphere, for instance, or this dome. And you can also use this other kind of surface, which is a surface of revolution. One thing to notice is that all these copies usually get deformed and take the direction of the normal of the target surface. And if you want to see what are the normals, you can go here left to the tool that is called direction, and then you see the normals. You can also use other kinds of geometries, like these three texts that I have, that I'm going to blend it into this surface here. If you have more complex geometries, it may take some time to process, but it will work. Now let's see another case. Let's say you want to have all these columns onto this green target surface with a vertical orientation. First you have to introduce Flow Along Surface in the command line and then select your base geometries. Then after pressing enter you go and select in the Constrain Normal the Yes option. Then you have to go to the side viewport and establish the vertical orientation. So the resulting geometries will also be vertical. If you don't do that, the result will always follow the normals of the surface. Now to finish, one last thing. This also works in the opposite direction. Let's assume I have a situation involving a cylinder and a free-form surface, like in this case. Once I blend the cylinder onto a regular planar surface, what I get is the deformation of the cylinder. Let's call it an unexpected yet a controlled result, almost like nature. It's a very nice way of creating geometries. That's it for today. I hope you like it, and if so, please subscribe and share it. Take care. Ciao, ciao.